What do you want to talk about, McMahon? Come on, tell me. I think I want to talk about watches. That's what I think I want to talk about. I'm wearing a Seiko Tuna 033 on an end mill bracelet, and I want to talk about watches. And what I want to talk about is watch prison. Are you in a watch prison? Let me ask you some questions, and maybe in answering these questions you'll be able to determine if you live in a watch prison. I live in one by my own choosing. Do you have any watches in your collection that you love them? You look at them in your box, but you never wear them. And you can't part with them because you love them so much. Man, that's an amazing watch. Then you put it on your wrist. I'll wear something else. And then you sell it because you weren't wearing it, but then you miss it, and then you buy it again. You do it like 5 times. I've been there. Watch prison. Do you think about watches first thing you wake up in the morning? Do you think about watches at bed at night? It's the last thought before you go to sleep. Do you dream about watches? I've had some dreams about watches. Do you watch television and movies and stop thinking about the plot and start looking at the watches on the actors? Do you argue about watches on online forums about brands and about tier levels? If you do, you're probably a smart person. Smart people have obsessions. We all choose our obsessions. You know, I'm a big admirer of Bill Simmons. He talks about sports, and he's really obsessed with basketball. He could talk about basketball 24/7. Some people are political junkies. They could talk about politics all day. Some people are fashion junkies. Well, I'm a watch junkie. I live in a self-imposed watch prison. And my watch journey included a trip to a luxury Breitling store 2 days ago where I had an underwhelming experience with a Breitling Avenger Seawolf 2. And now I'm a lost soul, disoriented. I'm a watch obsessive without a holy grail. Holy crap! Don't ever deny a watch obsessive his holy grail. You're going to have a scared, anxious man. Well, too bad, man. There's a lot of other problems in the world. I'll just have to deal with the fact that I don't have a holy grail. But the Seiko Tuna will comfort me in bed at night. It will be my teddy bear as I suck my thumb and contemplate the Holy Grail. Well, I want to talk about watch prison. I think Mike Fisher wrote a comment on my Breitling store journey that we should all look at. He said, a lot of us, we collect and we hoard things, and in our case watches, because we're looking for emotional needs that aren't being met in the real world. And I totally agree with that. I will say, as a husband and a father of twin 6-year-old daughters who are very loud and who can be very difficult, that my watch prison is more than just emotional needs that aren't being met. It's emotional issues that are just too much. It's not a lack of emotion, it's too much emotion. My watch prison becomes my man cave. It becomes a sanctuary, a place to escape. And I think the problem with watch prison is that it can become unmanageable. It can create the very anxieties and lack of control that we feel in the outside world. And I think as watch obsessives, we live in a dichotomy. On one hand, we live inside our watch prison, but then we also long to live in a very manageable watch world. The manageable or ideal watch world, which is the opposite of our prison, is a place of nirvana where we no longer are tormented by which watch we're going to wear in the morning. We're no longer possessed by thinking about watches day and night, dreaming about watches. We're no longer buying and selling. We have our holy grails. Our collection is small, only 4 watches, 2 holy grails that we wear, for special occasions, and then 2 everyday watches, and that's it. That's all we have. We've achieved watch nirvana. But the point is, watch nirvana never lasts for long because we're sharks and we have to keep swimming. And imagine a world where we all achieved watch nirvana. There would be no YouTube videos. There would be no conversation. The world would be boring. You know, life is about struggle, and it's about confusion, and it's messy, and it's about conflict, and we go through that as watch obsessives, just like people who are obsessive about other things. It's how we're hardwired. So the watch prison is of our own choosing. It can be good for us and bad for us. We shouldn't be totally in the watch prison, but we need to go there sometimes. Just as importantly, we need to leave watch prison. For me, getting out of watch prison means kettlebell workouts, it means playing the piano, it means taking my wife out on a date night, it means playing with my daughters, doing stuff with my daughters. It doesn't mean going to their school. I don't know why. I hate going to my daughter's school. I don't like open house. I don't like volunteer teaching. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's another story. It's another video. But I want us to conclude by saying let's embrace the watch prison, but let's also leave it from time to time for our own sanity. And that's all I have to say today. And until next time, I am out.